Welcome to the Arc Reactors. I'm John.
I'm Greg.
It's another week. We're almost halfway through the race. It's like five, and we are doing our first day in India, which neither of us have been to, and it was a really fun leg. I think my favorite of the season so far. So let's get
Ooh,
right
hot
on
take
take.
favorite leg of the season. Hot both in the take as well as the temperature of India. That
Whoa,
was that
sure.
was definitely the hardest part for me was the temperature
Yeah,
of
must
India.
see and dusty. Yeah, I think I liked watching this episode the most. I think
Mm.
just like some good foot races, of course, and then also just having some puzzles and technique is always just a tad more fun than hauling and throwing fruits and whatnot. So,
For sure. I do think, and I think we talked about this, I think my favorite challenge maybe of the race was the mural challenge. I think that was a
mhm.
really fun one. Episode as a whole, yeah, and India as a whole, not 100% sure, but yeah, it was a fun episode to watch too because there was a lot that we just didn't know that happened. Like we just didn't know about the foot race at the end. We didn't know about, Corey was really struggling at the beginning there with the dancers. So we'll get all up into it, but
Yeah, let's get right into it. So we're all coming off the same flight. We yeah, left the airport at the exact same time, which meant this really reset us from the chaos that came from that last leg. And we get in like the first or second taxi, but we end up being like the last or second to last taxi there.
yeah, I'm actually still confused how that happened. Like
Mhm.
we weren't we got it we all got in the taxis at the same time and it didn't feel like our taxi was going particularly slow. He didn't get lost all that much. Maybe he went the wrong way, but yeah, when we showed up and I think they even said it in the show. I was like, "You think this many people already here?"
Right. It's like, I guess so, but I still
Yeah.
see sugarcane hung up, so it can't be last. But we got to pick that up. It was heavier than I expected. I saw other teams just one person carrying it, and I feel like it really took both of us to carry that thing up.
Yeah, at no point did I even think of one of us carrying it. I was like, no, this is a two-person job. But I saw like, I think it was Garrett or someone, and I saw the military bros, Liam and Jeremy. I saw one of them carrying it, and I was impressed. But yeah, it was a
Mhm.
two-man job.
Yeah, and
Two-person
we
job.
got the tip early on to walk. I think some other like bystanders saw the groups in front of us huffing up and they were like, yo, you gotta chill. This is gonna be a marathon, not a sprint. And thankfully we got that message early because it was a long way up there. We just did not know.
That's so true. He literally went like this. He was like, slow down.
Mhm.
Like, don't get ahead
That
of
was
yourself.
really good advice. Yeah. We got to the top. We're like right next to Liam and Jeremy. It says who has balance, who has a good sense of balance, something like that. Gregory, as you definitely remember, had his balance tests at the very first roadblock, the very first challenge of the season. So I figured, I'll do it. Why not? I'll get my balance. And Gregory did his time, and then opened it up, and it was a dancing one.
Yeah, we on our way there, we thought it was going to be something with elephants because we had to find a mahout, and we
Hmm.
looked it up in the taxi, and we saw that a mahout was something to do with elephants. So we
Yeah,
thought it was going to be, an elephant challenge or an animal challenge, but yeah, we found out it's a dancing challenge, and Johnny's got that rhythm, man. Johnny's a dancer. Johnny's a dancer, man.
but I don't have a balancing act, that's for sure. And like definitely getting like all dolled up and getting ready to practice. I felt like I was just thrown into it. It's a little jarring to show up to a roadblock where people are rehearsing and seeing people on, steps that you're not at by any means. And you can kind of get to see them a little bit and a little preview, but overall it's just intimidating, I think, to see people progressing and not knowing at any time they can just like leave and try it out. I didn't even see Annalie leave to do her first few attempts. I was just so focused on getting the routine down. What were you up to while I was practicing?
Just chatting, like, I mean, any other roadblock, you just chat with the other teams. But
Hmm.
that is nerve-wracking to show up and see all the other teams are way far ahead. Like and I guess, yeah, in Vietnam when we did the fish challenge, because you just look at them and they're knee deep in the challenge, and you just know
Hmm.
you have so much to learn about the challenge. You have a lot of work to catch up. But I mean, I guess you got to put your head down, and that's exactly what you
Yeah,
did.
put
You
your
learned
head
it.
down.
You learned it really quickly. You learned it very quickly.
Thank you, thank you. Well, I didn't even realize I was learning it with only one pot on my head. My instructor at some point took two pots, the top two pots off my head, and let me practice. I guess for good reason with one pot, but yeah, when I had my first attempt, I had to wait in line. And waiting in line in this case was actually waiting in line. Like it really costs you. And yeah, when I was up, as you saw, he called me out. I had to go back, get my pots, and she was like, "Okay, yeah, 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 I took them off for you. You're welcome." I'm like, let me know, let me know. But thankfully, I was able to practice in line a lot more. I didn't see other teams doing that, but that's when I got most of my uh, time down. And yeah, just gave it my all. It's mostly about the balance. The steps are fun, just like nice and gentle, just like in and out, the ease of it. But then the balance was what was really the mental computing.
Yeah. I think Jonian said the same thing when they were doing the sword challenge on the first episode. They said that
Right.
you
Yeah.
got to practice in line when other people are going. It's just the only way to do it. But what was your technique? Because I know Anna Lee was, her idea was I'm just gonna go and try it, which was pretty smart, right? Like then she didn't have to
Mhm.
wait in line; she can just keep trying it. But while other people, like I think Ashley, maybe she just, she really, or at least Todd was saying that she was taking a while trying to learn it and trying to master it before she did it.
Mhm.
Were you like in the middle, or what was your technique?
I'm so much on the analyst side. I think I'm just trying to rush the instructors to give me the full on routine and then I'll poke holes at like what I'm missing. But I think my instructor was much more, let's master the first steps and master the second steps, master the third. I was like, literally dance the whole thing for me. And I'm just gonna try to repeat like that. Granted, I was at salsa last night and tried doing that same method and it just was not effective. Sometimes you just gotta like set the metronome slow and just like practice and the race lets you forget that so easily.
Yeah, and it depends because I've taken, before the race, I took some dance classes just because I thought maybe
Hmm.
be some dancing. And yeah, that was kind of the way that they taught us it. They were, breaking it down into different sections and then bringing the sections all together, which is a good way to do it. Like it definitely reinforces it. Like if you're trying to ingrain it into your head, that's
Yeah.
definitely the way to do it. But if you just need to do it once, just like flash it into your head, do it
Yeah.
once, and then you'll forget about it. Like
Watch it and
you,
then
yeah.
yeah. I'll watch it back on TV later on if I really want to remember that routine.
Yeah, you don't need to remember it for the rest of your life. You just need to remember
Yeah.
it for the next 10 minutes.
Yeah. But it went really well and I definitely at that last bow felt it falling and that was the scariest moment, but once you get past that, you're in the clear. So that felt really good. And
Yeah,
then
that's
we
where a
were
lot of people sorry, real quick. That's where I saw a lot of people get out was like that
yeah.
last balance.
Yeah.
That was
And
so
you know
tough.
it's coming. Yeah. It's tough. On our way out, Morgan and Lena were pretty close behind us, and we had realized we had the last name shared when we were at the airport at some point. We were waiting in line, I think on our way to India, and we
Yeah.
saw their passports also said Franklin. I was like, is that my passport? What? Yeah, we just didn't find out until way late.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, we were just so giddy about it. I mean, it's I don't think I've ever met someone with the last name Franklin, let alone who was also on The Amazing Race and who's also black.
Mhm.
Like that was just I've never had that happen before.
And siblings, yeah. At some point in like the 22nd minute part of the show, I was able to sing a few Cheetah Girls lines of like, well, Franklin siblings, we stand together from we make up one big family. Yeah,
Another deal.
they
No.
slipped that in. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a good little revelation. So after we left and we were heading to the next challenge, it was fun to see that they were right behind us because yeah,
Hmm.
they're girls at that point. They're
Yeah.
family.
But we did them dirty when we got to the detour choice.
I mean, we didn't do it on purpose, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
they had the right choice. They were going to do puppets, and then they asked us what we were going to do, and we said that we were going to do the mural. And I mean, they decided to follow us, which was a good move, right? Because like then we can kind of figure it out together and work together on it. But dang, that puppet challenge was the right. There are some challenges where there's the right answer and the wrong answer. The puppet challenge was the right answer.
Is the right answer. Yeah. I think the viewers kind of got a sense of that too.
I mean, the fact that Corey was able to come back from doing the
Right?
puppet
It says it all. Says it
says
all.
so long.
Yep. But great for them. It shows that like anything can happen, truly, genuinely. You just got to keep moving forward and just hope that the cards are dealt your way.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah.
so true. Yeah, so I mean, I then kind of going back to what I said at the beginning, I really liked this challenge, the mural challenge. I mean, we got
Hmm.
there, found out it was like a puzzle type challenge, which is why partly why we did it is because it was an assembly or puzzle, and in that list that we had of detours that and roadblocks that we or no mainly detours that we like the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, puzzles was above assembly.
Yep. And when we got there, we thought we had a good understanding of what to do. There was like one pillared area where we saw all of the supplies, the props, the costume portions, and so we were like trying to take from that that like repository of things, but we didn't find our colors. Like we're orange and we kept finding red. And I think we just like at some point we're like, I guess red is orange today. That's all we can do.
And we were so frightened. We were like, we know this isn't our color. Like we know it is. He kept saying, nope, nope, that's not it. And we were like, what? Like there is no other color. And it's funny because whenever you can't find something or whenever something's going wrong, you're just like, oh, it's the race's fault. Like they messed something
Mhm,
up. This is not my fault. But
mhm.
what did we then find?
It was on us. It was the rest of the garden. We didn't look far enough. And Morgan and Lena hadn't for a while either, too. So I think once you see people running around for looking for their props, then I think when other teams came in, they thought, okay, well, John and Greg are over there. There must be goods over there. So was able to help the other teams out a little bit that way. But that was a really good revelation, but not the last one either.
Not the last revelation. Oh
Not the last
yeah.
revelation.
Yeah, because then it turned out, and man, watching the show back, it was even more detailed than I thought it was.
I
Like there
know.
was,
I'm like, yeah. I'm
there-
looking at other people's, and I'm like, I don't think knowing what the situation was, I don't think I would have noticed that like they were supposed to have two straps instead of just one. Oh
I
my
think
God.
part of it's just, I think we got a little bit lucky because yeah, exactly. There were some parts where I was like, oh, I don't even think I noticed that, you know. And there were,
Mhm.
I mean, you guys didn't. I don't know how much they actually showed, but there were a lot of people. I mean, there was like one big section right behind it, and then like the entire palace was just lined with different people, different colors, different variations. People had little medallions, some people didn't, some people had slashes, some people didn't, some people were having like a round glass while another person had like a square glass. Like they were
Mhm.
very detailed. So the
Yeah.
fact that we pulled it off, I mean, I don't know, like I guess great for us.
Great for us, I
In fact, it's
guess.
great for everyone. I mean, the fact that
Yeah,
like
that's
we
true.
finished it,
Mhm.
yeah, like
I
that was a
will
hard
say
no.
we were all caught up on how we were dressed. Like we kept thinking for Gregory and I, we just kept thinking it was in the earrings. We had like multiple colored earrings and the image that they gave us wasn't that detailed. So we were like, are they red? Are they silver? So we tried doing both, but you can only see one side. So we're like, maybe the other side needs to have it. But then if you can't see it, maybe it doesn't need it. So we went through all these permutations before. You were the one to realize like there was something missing in like the axe. And then
Yeah.
from there, that opened up everything. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Once you found that, yeah, once we found that like that little difference between the acts, we were like, oh, this is way different than what we thought this was. So
Yeah.
that was a big revelation. But yeah, I mean, it was pretty fun just like running around the palace, honestly, just like
Hmm.
place to
Yeah.
place, like figuring it out. And it
Yeah.
really was. I was talking to some people afterwards. It really was debugging. I mean, there's like little things wrong that you just don't know
Mhm.
exactly what's wrong, and you really have to figure it out. Which just sounds
Yep.
cheesy, but that's really what it was.
That's really what it is. And just like you said, the same thing with the computer. When it tells you you're wrong, you're like, "Ah, stupid computer. Like, it's you. It's you. I'm perfect. What are you talking about? Yeah.
Yeah, and then you look back and you're like, "Am I the problem? Am I the drama?"
I know.
Like, was it me?
Yeah. We didn't even know. We were just so caught up in it. We didn't even see this Todd Ashley, Joe Ian foot race. Like, I couldn't tell you, I think, at the time, like who was there. Maybe every once in a while when we were looking for supplies, we would run into a team, but I was just not keeping track. We just really were focused on that puzzle. Like you said, heads down on that.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, I think yeah, I completely agree. I remember running by and finding different things. I remember seeing like the Philly Johns. I think I saw the military birds at some point, but yeah, I mean there was, yeah, nothing. Had no idea what was going on. But Todd and Ashley got lucky that they didn't have to do that challenge.
Yeah, that was, yeah, I'd be grateful. And especially, I mean, forget how long the challenge takes, just having to hear every single time you fail that guy going, no, no.
That was it. He was same pitch, same
Yeah,
duration of no.
yeah,
Like he practiced that thing for weeks because it
yeah,
was he had
yeah.
it down.
He took his moment, yeah. But it felt good when he said yes, I guess. It's the upside.
Oh, that felt good. There are certain times in in the race where you finish a challenge and it really feels good. And that was definitely
Mhm.
that was probably that was yeah that was just definitely a hard one and it felt
Yeah.
pretty good.
It was hard, yeah. And while we were on our way out, we like took a glimpse at Morgan and Lena's, and Gregory had noticed like one thing that was wrong, but yeah, we were on our way to the mat. We were on our way to the mat, and also there were so many other teams. We thought, well, they'll figure it out. Turns out, watching back, there were other things that were definitely wrong. But yeah, just one of those things, the hard decisions when you're doing the race to think about like balance of helping again Franklin sisters or really thinking about your game. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. And then we raced to the mat. I mean, we didn't think we were at that point in contention for getting eliminated because there were still so many teams back there.
Hmm.
But I don't think we necessarily thought we were first either. I mean, Steven and Lee had gotten there so much earlier. So there was just, I mean,
Yeah.
unless they really fumbled the bag on the puppet challenge, then we knew we were second at best.
Yeah, exactly. For what the puppet people were hoping was happening on the puzzle, I guess we were hoping was happening on the puppets, and it just was not that way.
So it's not that way at all. Yeah. But it was yeah, I mean that yeah, then we get their second place. I was telling Johnny before, I kind of forgot what place we got that episode.
He
Like
forgot.
this episode, as we were at the watch party, we pull up and he's like, "You got second place," and I felt like I was reliving it. I was like, "Oh yeah, we got second place."
Best yet. And pretty proud of doing it after choosing such a difficult detour. I think that's the thing that really like makes me pat my back. I think we did really well.
Yeah, I mean, you really set us up with the dancing. The dancing really set us up for success because you got it, dude. You got it on your second try, and the first try was only because you didn't have.
Yeah, I'm counting that as my first try.
That was your first
Technically,
genuine try.
yeah, first genuine try. Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you murdered that, and then that set us. That set us. I mean, we were so far ahead. I mean,
yeah, yeah. But it was some beautiful portions of Jaipur for sure. Like I think just chilling in palaces and fortresses, beautiful. But now we've got this next leg, staying in Jaipur, and we'll see another side of it in
yeah,
the streets.
hitting the, hit the streets of Jaffa. You know what it is.
You
Well,
know what
cool.
it
Yeah,
is.
fun episode. Excited for the next one. Should be a good one. Episode 6. Dang, halfway through.
Say it. Don't say it.
Man, it's going by quick, man. It's going by
It's,
quick.
it's just enjoying every minute of it. Yep.
Every second. Every
Yep.
second, man.
All right. Thank you for watching. We'll catch you on the next one and have a great week.
See you Wednesday.
See you Wednesday.
Stay smooth.